Hello friends, welcome to UPSC Logics, and this is the last part or part 12 of the revision series we are conducting on the Constitution of India as part of the UPPSC Special. And this particular video contains around 200 questions in one line format for revision purposes. And in the end of this video, I have given all the important articles that might be asked in the examination, so do watch it till the end. So without wasting any time, let's start. Which article under the Constitution provides for reservation of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in the Lok Sabha? It is Article 330. In which year was untouchability abolished in India? 1950. The following act does not amount to practicing untouchability, denying access to a home. Self-incrimination means compelling a person to be a witness against himself. The Constitution seeks to protect the interest of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes by reserving seats for them in the public services and in the legislatures. Indian Constitution guarantees reservation of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in the Lok Sabha and Legislative Assembly. Seats for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes are not reserved in the Rajya Sabha. The special officer who looks into the working of the safeguards for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes is called a commissioner or scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. According to Marriage Act of 1954, the age is fixed at 21 years for men and 18 years for women. The year 2001 was declared as the year of the woman empowerment to the promotion of the development of women. Who are considered to be vulnerable groups? Women and children. In which of the following state it is constitutionally obligatory for the state to have a separate minister for tribal welfare? It is Jharkhand, Odisha and Madhya Pradesh. The reservation of members of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes has been extended up to 2020. Extension of reservation to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes for another 10 years is provided by the way of 45th Constitutional Amendment Act. Reservation for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in the Parliament and state assemblies was extended up to 2010 by the 79th Amendment Act. Concept of creamy layer propounded by Supreme Court with regards to reservation refers to economically better off people. What is the maximum percentage of jobs that can be reserved by the state for backward classes? In government jobs, it is the 50%. The Tamil Nadu Reservation Act, which provides for 69% reservation in the jobs and educational institutions in the state, was placed in the 9th schedule by the 76th Amendment Act. Which article provides for the National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes? It is Article 338 and 338A. The National Commission for Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribes has to submit an annual report to the President. Which article of the Indian Constitution empowers the President to appoint a commission to investigate the conditions of backward classes in general and suggest alternative measures? It is Article 342. Certain seats shall be reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in Lok Sabha on the basis of their population. Minority groups are recognized on the basis of their population. Special provisions relating to minorities are guaranteed under Part 16 of the Constitution. Jobs are reserved for SC and ST people both at the time of appointment and promotion. The Mundel Commission for Backward Classes was set up in 1978, which is the commission appointed by the Government of India to investigate the conditions of socially and educationally backward classes of the society. It was the Mundel Commission. Which of the following Prime Minister was in favor of implementation of the recommendation of Mundel Commission? It was VP Singh. Who is empowered to nominate Anglo-Indian community to Lok Sabha / Legislative Assembly? It is the President to the Lok Sabha and Governor to the Legislative Assembly. How many members will be nominated by the President / Governor from the Anglo-Indian community? 2 members by the President and 1 member by the Governor. In which of the following state there is no reservation for scheduled caste for Lok Sabha? It is Jammu and Kashmir. Under the provision of which article of the Constitution the government abolished the practice of untouchability? Article 17. Emergency provisions were borrowed from the Constitution of Germany. Emergency provisions under Indian Constitution describe the nature of Indian polity as unitary. Which article under the Constitution authorizes the President to proclaim an emergency? It is Article 352, and this is in relation to national emergency. Emergency provisions are enshrined under Part 18 of the Constitution. According to Article 355, it is the duty of the Union to protect states against external aggression, constitutional breakdown, and internal disturbance. The Indian Constitution is designed to work as a unitary government during the time of emergency. When the national emergency is declared, the following article is suspended. Article 14. While proclamation of emergency is in operation, the President cannot suspend certain fundamental rights. These are Article 21 and 21. The final authority to make a proclamation of emergency rests with, or the President is empowered to declare an emergency. President can proclaim an emergency with the recommendation of the Union Cabinet. President can proclaim emergency on the recommendation of the Union Cabinet. Such recommendation shall be written recommendation. How many types of emergencies are envisaged by the Constitution? 3. Breakdown of constitutional machinery in state is popularly known as President's Rule, and it is imposed under Article 356. President's rule can be imposed on the states on failure of constitutional machinery in the state. President rule at the center is possible during national emergency. The President can declare national emergency on the recommendation of Council of Ministers. Proclamation of national emergency ceases to operate unless approved by the Parliament within, or once a national emergency is proclaimed, it should be approved by the Parliament within, or proclamation issued under Article 352 shall be laid before the Parliament within 1 month. Proclamation issued has to be approved by the Parliament, will be in force for a period of 6 months. When a proclamation of emergency is in operation, Parliament has the power to make laws for the whole or any part of the territory of India under List 2. When the proclamation of emergency is in operation, the Parliament has special powers to legislate under state list. The President can declare national emergency due to threat arising on account of foreign attack or armed rebellion. President can proclaim an emergency on the grounds of external aggression, war, or armed rebellion. How many times has a national emergency been declared so far by the President? Thrice. The President can declare constitutional emergency in a state if he is satisfied that a situation has arisen in which the state government cannot be carried out in accordance with the Constitution. Which type of emergency has been declared the maximum number of times? It is a constitutional emergency. Which one of the following emergency has not yet been declared till now? It is a financial emergency. A national emergency can remain in operation with the approval of the Parliament for an indefinite period. This is not a ground to declare national emergency. It is serious internal disturbance. To declare national emergency, a decision must be taken by the Cabinet. Financial emergency can be proclaimed under Article 360. Who is empowered to proclaim a financial emergency? It is the President. Financial emergency can be proclaimed on the grounds of any part of Indian territory is threatened, financial stability or credit of India is threatened. The President can declare financial emergency if there is a threat to the financial stability or credit of India. During a financial emergency, the President 1. Order the reduction of salaries of Supreme Court and High Court judges. Number 2. Order the reduction of salaries and allowances of all central and state civil servants. And number 3. Ask all states to reserve all the money of financial bills passed by the state legislature for its consideration. When the financial emergency is under operation, the Union is empowered to reduce the salaries of its employees. The three types of proclamation of emergency made by the President have to be placed before each house of the Parliament for its approval within 1 month in case of national emergency and within 2 months due to breakdown of constitutional machinery and financial emergency. Which one of the following emergencies can be declared by the President only on a receipt in writing of the decision of the Union Cabinet? Emergency due to war, external aggression, or armed rebellion. When a financial emergency is proclaimed, salaries and allowances of any class of employees may be reduced. If state fails to comply with the directives of the central government, the president can declare breakdown of constitutional machinery in the state and assume responsibility for its governance. This is not a ground to declare state emergency, no clear majority. When a state emergency is declared, all or any of the functions of the state government are assumed by the president. President made a proclamation of emergency on grounds of internal disturbance for the first time in the year 1975. When the state emergency is in operation, the president can't interfere in the matters of state judiciary. Who has the duty to protect states against external aggression and internal disturbance? It is the union government. For first time, the president made a proclamation of emergency under Article 352 in the year 1962 during the Indochina War. The electoral system of India is largely based on the pattern of Britain. The details regarding the electoral system of India were provided by the Parliament through a number of laws. Who has the power to make necessary provisions with respect to elections? It is the Parliament. Who is competent to declare the elections to the Lok Sabha? It is the President. What is the outstanding feature of the electoral system of India? Number one is political parties are an indispensable part of the process. Number two is based on universal adult franchising, and number three is provides a single electoral body. Elections to Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies in India are conducted on the basis of adult franchisee. What is the system used to elect the President of India? It is proportional representation. Who is authorized to determine the territorial constituencies after each census? It is the Parliament. Which of the following provisions kept democracy alive in India? It was the electoral provisions. Chief Minister of a state is not eligible to vote in the presidential election if he is member of the Legislative Council of the state legislature. Voting age of citizens is changed from 21 to 18 years by the 61st Constitutional Amendment Act. 61st Constitutional Amendment reduced the voting age from 21 to 18 years. Citizens of India have the right to cast his vote after attaining an age of 18 years. Elections in India are held on the basis of single-member constituencies. The Chief Election Commissioner is appointed by the President. The Chief Election Commissioner holds office for a fixed term of 5 years. The number of members in Election Commission, including the chairman, is 3. Which article under the Constitution gives power to Election Commission to conduct elections? It is Article 324. The control and preparation of electoral roll for Parliament and state legislature rests with the Election Commission. Election to local self-government shall be conducted by the State Election Commission, and this question has been asked in UPSC. Who will conduct the elections to post of President and Vice President? It is the National Election Commission. Election Commission does not conduct election to Speaker of Lok Sabha. Who has been made responsible for free and fair elections in the country? It is the Chief Election Commissioner. Elections to Lok Sabha shall be held every 5 years. For election to Lok Sabha, nomination papers can be filed by any citizen whose name appears in the electoral roll. The party system in India can be described as a multi-party system. Which one of the following is a feature of the party system in India? There is a close resemblance in the policies and programs of various political outfits. In India, the citizens have been given the right to vote on the basis of their age. Which categories of persons are not entitled to exercise vote through postal ballot? Indian nationals settled abroad. Which body gives recognition to political parties? It is the Election Commission. Main consideration which prompted government to convert Election Commission into a multi-member body was to check the unbridled power of the Chief Election Commissioner, who accords recognition to various political parties as national or regional parties. It is the Election Commission. To be recognized as a national party, a party must secure at least 4% of the valid votes in 4 or more states. To be recognized as a regional party, a party must secure at least 4% of the valid vote in state. Which one of the following statements about the Election Commission is correct? The members of the Election Commission have equal powers with the Chief Election Commissioner. Which of the following is not the function of an Election Commission? Selecting candidates for contesting elections. This is not the function of Election Commission. Ascertain the suitability of the candidates. Election disputes shall be decided by the Election Commission. In terms of election law in India, electioneering ceases in a constituency at least 48 hours before the commencement of the polling. The Election Commission does not conduct elections to the post of Prime Minister. The Election Commission also does not have the power to conduct elections for the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. The Election Commission is responsible for the conduct of elections to Parliament, Office of the President and Vice President, and the state legislatures. The Election Commission of India enjoys constitutional basis. The Election Commission generally consists of the Chief Election Commissioner and such other commissioners as determined by the President from time to time. Chief Election Commissioner can be removed from office before the expiry of his term by the President on the recommendation of the Parliament. The Chief Election Commissioner shall be removed by the Parliament. Who is responsible for keeping the voters' list up to date at all times? It is the Election Commission. The general elections. The first general elections were held in India, or when did the first general elections were held? It was in the year 1951-52. Which of the following general elections of India was spread over 100 days? It was the first general election. Which of the following features of the electoral system of India? Number 1, it is based on universal adult franchisee. Number 2, political parties are an indispensable part of the system. And number 3, it gives a single electoral body. Who of the following has voting rights? Adult residents, citizens of a state. The term fourth estate refers to press. The chief merit of proportional representation is representation to all parties in the legislature according to their strength. In India, the system of proportional representation by means of a single transferable vote is used in the election of the president. Regional election commissioners may be appointed by the president. Regional election commissioners may be appointed by the president with the consultation of the election commission. Other election commissioner or regional election commissioner shall be removed on the recommendation of the chief election commissioner. Which of the following Lok Sabha was dissolved before the expiry of its nominal term and fresh elections held before due date? It was the 4th Lok Sabha. The parliamentary elections of 1999, which have been described as the longest elections of India, were spread over 4 weeks. Which one of the following regional party emerged as the largest opposition party in the Lok Sabha elections held in December 1984? I'm sorry friends, 1984. It was the Telugu Desam party. Consider the following tasks: supervision, direction and conduction of elections, preparation of electoral rolls, proclaiming final verdict in the case of electoral irregularities. This is all jobs of the Election Commission. What is the ground on which Chief Election Commissioner of India can be removed from his office? It is incapacity. Election to the Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies in India are held on the basis of adult franchisee. Who acted as the Prime Minister of India immediately on the death of Jawaharlal Nehru? It was Guljari Lal Nanda. Which is the only Indian state which has a unique distinction of having its own constitution? It is Jammu and Kashmir. The head of state of Jammu and Kashmir was re-designated governor in 1965. Earlier he was known as Sadar-e-Riyasat. Which Indian state remained an associate state for a short period before it was recognized as a full-fledged state of the Union? It was Sikkim and the year was 1975. The State Reorganization Act of 1956 reduced the number of states in the country from 27 to 14. A constitutional emergency declared by the President has to be approved by the Union Parliament within 2 months. The first Speaker of the Lok Sabha was G.V. Mavlankar. It is the responsibility of the Supreme Court to decide the disputes arising between two states or between center and the state. So guys, now let's have a look at all the important articles. And name of name and territory of union is article 1. Then new state formation, alteration of boundaries, etc. Article 3. Law inconsistent with or in derogation of the fundamental rights comes under article 13. Equality before law, popularly known as right to equality, is article 14. Prohibition of discrimination on basis of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth is article 15. Equality in case of public employment is article 16. Abolition of untouchability is article 17. Abolition of titles, article 18. Protection of certain rights to freedom, popularly known as right to freedom, is article 19. Under article 19 we have got 6 particular rights. So freedom of speech and expression is article 19A. Right to peaceful assembly is 19B. Right to association is 19C. Right to move freely through India is 19D. Right to settle and residence is article 19E. 19F was omitted and it was one of the fundamental rights and is now governed by article 300A. It was the right to own personal property. Freedom to practice any profession or occupation, trade or business is article 19G. Life to life and personal liberty is article 21. Right to education is article 21A. Prohibition of human trafficking and forced labor is article 23. Prohibition of child labor is article 24. Freedom to practice and propagate religion freely, article 25. Protection of interest of minorities, article 29. Remedies for enforcement of fundamental rights including writs, article 32. Uniform Civil Code is article 44. Separation of judiciary from the executive is article 50. Promotion of internal peace and security is article 51. Fundamental duties, article 51A. Power of President to grant pardons, article 72. Attorney General of India, article 76. Duties of Prime Minister, article 78. Session of Parliament, prorogation and dissolution, article 85. Speaker and Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha, article 93. Voting in the House, article 100. Power, privileges, etc. of members of Parliament, 105. Salaries and allowances of Member of Parliament, article 106. Joint sitting of both houses of the Parliament, article 108, and this occurs during the deadlock situation. Money bills, article 109, 110. Budget is article 112. President's power to promulgate ordinance while Parliament is in recess is article 123. Appointment of ad hoc judges in the Supreme Court, article 127. Supreme Court's power to issue certain writs, 139. Supreme Court's law binding to all courts, 141. Comptroller and Auditor General of India is article 148, 149. Appointment of Governor, article 155. Again, this question has been asked in UPPSC. Power of governors to grant pardon, article 161. Advocate General of the State, article 165. Duties of Chief Minister, 167. Appointment of additional and acting judges in the High Court, article 224. Appointment of retired judges in High Courts, article 224A. Power of High Court to issue writs, article 226. Finance Commission, article 280. All India Services, article 312, and protection of civil servants is under article 311. Election Commission is article 324. Scheduled caste and scheduled tribes claim to service and post is article 335. Official language is article 343. Again, this question has been asked. National emergency is 352. President's rule in case of failure of constitutional machinery or constitutional emergency or president's rule is article 356. Financial emergency is article 360. Power of Parliament to amend the Constitution, 368, and temporary provisions with respect to state of Jammu and Kashmir is article 370. So guys, this brings us to the end of this particular series as well as video, and I hope you have enjoyed this particular series. A lot of questions, I've covered around 1600 questions in this particular series, and I hope you have watched it, and in case you have any doubts, do watch it again. Do like and subscribe to this channel if you're watching it for the first time, If you are a regular subscriber, don't forget to press the bell icon for notification of new videos from UPSC Logics. And thank you so much for watching this video, and Jai Hind.